All right, guys, welcome to week 11. I'm going to do the map today with you, and we'll get started because it's kind of tricky. So clearly I don't know how to work this. So let's get started right away. So here's what your map, Europe and Oceania. The first one looks like this. So we got a little bit of arrows, nothing crazy, but the back is a little bit more intense. Don't worry, we'll get through it together, but let's get started immediately so we can get to the crazy stuff. So first we're going to start with Atlantic Ocean. We have England. London is located right here. All right, we have France. Okay, it's no longer called Franks. It's now called France. We're calling it, this is Paris. I apparently don't know how to spell Paris, but that's okay. All right, we have Mediterranean Sea, Med Sea. We have Black Sea way over here. And we have North Sea. Okay, so here are our basics. We have four boxes. We're going to put them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Normans. First Crusade. Second Crusade. Third Crusade, just kidding. Third Crusade. And Fourth Crusade. Okay, so now we're going to get into the trickier parts. All right, so we're going to start in Spain. We're going to kind of cut it all up. So we're going to do the Muslim states first. Do the best you can. It does not have to be perfect, but as long as you're trying, you should be fine. Okay, so here's your Muslim states. Okay, then you have Portugal here. We have Leon, Leon. Then we have Castile, Castile. Then we have Navarrete, Narvarre, Navarre. And then Aragon, Aragon. And there's your Spanish smaller empires. Then you have the French border here. Then we have, of course, the English are going to be here to here. All right. And then we are going to create the Holy Roman Empire right now. Now, the Holy Roman Empire, of course, is going to have its first emperor of Charlemagne. It is never going to be that big of a deal. It has a good amount of territory right now, but after the Crusades, it will never be as powerful as it was. The Crusades really hurt it just because people get incredibly frustrated. This is going to be Poland. I know. Do the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, mine is not exactly perfect, but we're doing okay. And here is Hungary. Over here we have Serbia. Okay, over here we have, this is your Byzantine Empire. And over here we have Bulgaria. So do the best you can. You're doing great. Now down here we are going to label Rome. Excuse me. All right, so let's label Holy Roman Empire. Oh, by the way, I came to school on Monday to do this for you, so I just wanted you to know that's why the bells are ringing. So your Holy Roman Empire is here. Genoa. Genoa doesn't exist. Venice is right here. Okay. And those are your big major port cities. All right, and then it is important to label Crete down here. All right, so those are your major areas right here. So let's start coloring it in now that we've labeled everything. Now, it is important to note that the Holy Roman Empire is going to be a pretty big territory. Now, for me, it's going to be purple. We're just going to color it in so you know. As you can see, it's going to take up a lot of central Germany. At this point, even though this is going to be the largest extent to which the Holy Roman Empire is going to have, it is going to plummet after this week, and it will never be as powerful as it was during this time. They've had a couple rulers, but the biggest one is going to be, of course, be Charlemagne. After that, a lot of people swear their allegiance to it. However, it's not really known as a major power. So I'm just coloring in my Holy Roman Empire right now. Now, in France, I'm going to color it in blue. France is going to be a major Catholic stronghold for a while. It is going to be supporting most of your kings that are going to go on the crusade. Now, the Pope is going to declare war on all Muslims, and France is going to be the largest area that sends people to go fight for it. Okay, England is going to be involved. England is really under control over one king. That king, Richard the Lionheart, is going to send people. He is going to be a huge player of the third one. This is the first time England really puts itself on the map and becomes recognized as an important player in the world. So it's a big deal for England. And we're also going to see Poland. Poland for me is going to be this greenish color. Poland is actually going to step up, and they're going to send some people. They don't send that many people. However, they are going to play a little bit of a role. The Polish aren't going to be incredibly well recognized, and that's going to lead to some issues later on, but they will be seen. Your next one is going to be Hungary. Hungary is going to send some Christians. They are going to send some. They are also not going to be super highly respected, not known for their military prowess. However, they are going to be mostly sending food and stuff, which makes them highly appreciated by the Europeans who are heading there. Bulgaria is actually a larger export. They're going to play a major role in sending food as well as soldiers into the Middle East. They're actually not going to take that many boats. They're just going to walk, which makes sense since you're so close to the Middle East. I'm going to use red to color in my Muslim states. Now, the Muslim states are going to be territories that are conquered by the Muslim Empire. We call the ones in the peninsula over here the Moors. They are going to be huge raiders and attackers of Europeans. They're going to terrorize the people of Europe for quite some time. As you remember, Charles Martel is going to be the one defeating the Moors and stop them from invading into France. He is seen as a world hero. That's why he gains favor with the Catholic Church. And eventually why his son becomes First Holy Roman Empire, and that would be, of course, Charlemagne. So those are your Muslim states. So keep in mind that the Muslims are around. They are present. They are not completely far away. They're actually pretty close. All right, so the rest of it needs to be, I need to color my Byzantine. Oh my goodness. So my Byzantines over here, they are actually going to be in opposition, of course, of the Catholic Church. The Byzantine Empire is going to kind of get its sealed fate during the Fourth Crusade, when Europeans are going to invade the port of Constantinople, and these crusaders are going to steal food and supplies from Constantinople. This will be the official decline of Constantinople. It'll then be conquered by the Muslims pretty much immediately after, because it's so weakened by the Europeans. And for that, the Constantinople will never really fully get over the fact that the Europeans did this. And we're just going to label Constantinople. It's right here, and we're going to label it Constantinople. So this will be the final nail in the coffin of Constantinople. Your invaders are going to go ahead and take it. So when we talk about the Normans, now the Normans are what our primary source that we went over last week was about. The Normans are actually Franks. They come from Normandy, France, and they are going to lead an invasion in from Normandy, France, into England. As I'm doing that now, they're going to be bright red for me. They're going to lead an invasion into England. They are the only people to invade England successfully. Napoleon tried doing it. Hitler tried doing it, unsuccessful. The Normans are the only ones. They are also going to be great sailors, so they are going to sail all the way around. And of course, they're going to invade England. They're going to invade the islands. They're also going to invade Egypt, okay? And they're going to cause havoc. So when we talk about them, we're going to see that they are going to be playing major roles in getting European power respected again. They are really the first European empire that's actually going to be respected around the world. And that is because the Normans are their ability to wage a sea war, which actually affects other people. So your Normans are going to come out of Normandy, France. They're going to invade England. They're going to put the first major king of England on the throne. Then they are going to go into the Mediterranean Sea and cause a ton of issues. Now, the First Crusade is going to be called by the Pope, which is an important factor. So the First Crusade is going to be the only really successful crusade for the Christians. Now, the Crusades are going to be called because the Muslims are going to invade the territory of the Holy Land. So the First Crusade is in response to that, where they're going to wage a war. So the first major crusaders are going to be coming from Paris. They're going to go to Venice. Okay, so they're coming out of Paris. They're going into Venice. And then from there, they're going to Constantinople. So they are making a land route. Okay, they are going here to there, and that is their land route. Okay, it's going to take them a very long time to go from Paris to Venice to Constantinople. You are going to have, once they figure out that this is really not the best way to do it, during the Third Crusade, they're going to do it differently. The Third Crusade is where we start seeing a lot more sea travel. Now, when we think of Italy, we think of them as a sea power. This is when Italy really becomes a sea power. During the Third Crusade, which for me is going to be black, what we're going to see is that we're going to have Europeans coming from France and the Holy Roman Empire go to Genoa, and they're going to come over. They're going to land in Crete, and then they're going to attack. Okay? They're going to attack here, and they're going to attack here because the Muslim Empire is going to be spreading. Okay? Now, the First Crusade is the only one that Christians retake the Holy Land. Third Crusade, the Muslims maintain their power and expand their territory. The Fourth Crusade is an epic failure for Christians because the Christians decide not to attack the Middle East, but in fact attack their own religion. Now, they're attacking Byzantium, which of course is not Roman Catholic, but they are leaving out of Venice. They sail to the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire refuses to give them more supplies because the Westerners owe them so much money. So what they do is they turn around and go up into Constantinople and they sack Constantinople. They completely destroyed it, raid it, and do terrible things to the people living there. Now keep in mind, these are both Christians. They're both different sects of Christianity, but essentially they're both Christians. This will be the fall of Constantinople. This will also be the fall of the last Christian empire in the Middle East. So the iconoclasm, the division between the two churches and all that stuff is a big deal. The problem is that they can't let it go. And that's the big issue. So those are your crusades. Now, for every one of your little empires over here, your little Spanish empires, just color them in a different color, just super quick. It's important to know that they do exist. They are different. And they'll be becoming a bigger deal next time we come around to Spain. So these all will be reunited, and when we have the Reconquista, which is coming up very quickly. So once you finish coloring in these Spanish territories, then you are done with the front part of the map. So, and there is all of my Spanish territories. Okay, so then I'm going to give you enough time because I'm going to color in my other land masses so you know exactly what you should color. This is green. I'm just coloring in my other ones super quick. Please do that now if you haven't already started coloring in your land and your sea so we can get this done. Don't forget to color in the tip of Italy, Sardinia, Corsica. I can't think of that one. Don't forget Crete. Okay. Oh, don't forget Serbia either. Serbia's just green. It doesn't really have that much of an impact. All right, and then I'm going to quickly color in my water as well. All right. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, clean up your little mess. We're going to flip it over here in a second and get going on the other side. Now, the other side of the map is going to be Oceania to a degree and a little bit of our Southeast Asia. I don't think we've done a map on them fully and just on that. The cool thing is we're going to label a lot of the islands that we've been coloring for a while. And we're going to be able to really see some stuff. So we're going to start on the left-hand side first. The left-hand side is your hardest part. It is going to be a little tricky. We are going to start really labeling. I'm going to color and label at the same time instead of trying to go back. Okay, I'm going to color outside the islands in order to allow us to see the islands. So right here, I'm going to color them in first and then we'll label them. So I have this pretty teal color. As you can see, I'm coloring in the water as well, so you can kind of see where I'm coloring. So I'm kind of connecting it. I know that I'm not coloring inside the lines, but I think it's important that you see. These are the Philippine Islands. J-L-I-P-P-I-N-E. Okay, those are the Philippines. Then right next to it, we have this little, these are your Mariana Islands. M-A-R-I-A-N-A Islands. Okay. Then you have Micronesia. And for me, Micronesia Islands are over here. Polynesian Islands are over here. Okay, the most famous, of course, of the Polynesian ones are probably Hawaii for you. So we are going to color those in. You'll notice Hawaii is the biggest island over here. And these are your Hawaiian Islands. And I've been there and it's amazing. Yeah. All right, we're going to label these. These are their Marshall Islands. And for me, they're going to be yellow. And the Marshall Islands is one of your larger collection of islands. Then we have your Melanesian, M-E-L-A-N-E-S-I, Melanesian Islands. Okay, then we also have your Gilbert Islands, which for me, they're going to be a periwinkle or a light blue. And these are their largest smaller collection of islands all over the place. Then you have your Samoan Islands. For me, they're going to be a dark red. Then you have your Tonga Islands. For me, they're going to be green. Then you have your Fiji Islands. For me, they're going to be orange. These are actually Gilbert. And then you have your Solomon Islands. Now, these Solomon Islands are going to play a huge role in World War II. Marshall Islands, obviously Philippines, all of these are going to be huge players in World War II, so they'll come back. This information will be needed again. And your Solomon, for me, are going to be purple. All right, right here we have New Guinea. New Guinea is right here, and for me, it is going to be this light blue. All right, then we have down here, you're going to have to kind of draw it in a little bit. The map doesn't really do it. And this is New Zealand. And for me, they're going to be this dark yellow, dark yellow. All right, so that is your map. Everything else needs to be blue and green. Let's finish that up really quickly, and then we'll do the rest. It's a little hard to see, so let me grab my supplies and get them out of the way. So I'm going to start with Australia. Super, super quick, remember. Australia is all green. We're not labeling that. We're just talking about Oceania. Then you have your modern day Malaysia. Now we're into the continent, but down here is Malaysia today. All these are green. Those are technically part of Southeast. We're just doing Oceania, which we haven't done anything for, really. So I'm just coloring in the continent of China. Obviously, we're in Korea. All the way back up to Russia. And all this is just green. Now we're definitely in Russia. There we go. Don't forget your China. Taiwan. There we go. So that is your landmass. Now very quickly color in your water. For me, it's going to be blue. Obviously, oh, we forgot Alaska. As you can see, we're doing this as quickly as possible, so that way we can get to our other islands. All right. You have 10 seconds. 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so the next map is actually going to be a lot easier than the map we just finished, so that's exciting. A lot less to label and a lot less to color. Hopefully this helps you kind of see where all these destinations are. You've heard of some of them, I assume, of course, Hawaii and all that stuff. So right now you need 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. First one is Inca, Empire, Aztec, Empire, Toltec, Empire, and Maya Empire. Okay, now we need to label the Pacific, Ocean, Atlantic, Ocean, then we have the Caribbean, Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico. All right. Ooh. So first thing we're going to label is TEOTICHUACAN. Second place we're going to on the Iberian Peninsula. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That's better. Is CHICHENITZA. All right, and that's located right here. And that's all the labeling you need, so that's nice. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do the Incan Empire. The Incan Empire is going to be your easiest. For me, it's going to be this burnt orange color. Okay, so the Incan Empire is actually going to be in South America. Oh, we've talked about them before. The Americas are stranger than our European and Eurasian continent. It's because they don't have that much going on because they're so separated and they don't have invaders coming in like we do over here. Their empires last for a very, very long time, and we're going to see that when the Europeans show up at the end of period 4, which we're coming up to very, very quickly, by the way, they're going to wipe out the Incans and the Aztecs. The Mayans are going to be gone by the time they show up, and the Toltecs are going to be gone, but the Incans and the Aztecs are the ones going to be left behind that the Spanish are going to have to fight. So when we talk about the Incans, they are going to be located in the Andes Mountains. They're going to be the ones who are known for their stone building, and they're really actually very cool. Machu Picchu, if you've ever heard of that, is built by the Incans. So they go all the way down about that far. Now, your Aztec, for me, is going to be, I'm going to do the Toltecs first. Now, the Toltecs, for me, are going to be this dark green. The Toltecs are going to be built around here, and they're going to be right here. Okay, now the Toltecs are going to be first. Then you have the Aztecs, who are going to be this burnt yellow color. Now the Aztecs are one of the most famous, of all of your Central American civilizations. They're the most famous because A, we have the most information about them. They also like to do human sacrifices, which is pretty cool. And they are going to have a lot more written resources than we do on them. They are known as to be great warriors, and they're just pretty cool, I'm just going to say. They're very, very cool. They have a blood slide for one, so I mean that's pretty cool. My next one is going to be pink, and it is going to be the Mayans. The Mayans are going to be the cultural center of the Aztecs, but the Aztecs are going to take what they do and do it a little bit differently, and they are going to be located on the Iberian Peninsula, I can't think of what it's called at the moment, and they're located right there. So if you've ever gone on a cruise and you've gone to see ruins, you've seen Mayan ruins. I'm just going to take my green and I'm going to color in everything else. The map's done. So those are your areas. Pretty easy map for this side. The other side's a little more complicated, I would say. And these are going to be your last. It's important to really understand that your Aztec and your Incans are the only ones that are going to be around when the Spanish arrive. The Spanish are going to wipe them out. But that's the only reason why we know as much about the Incans and the Aztecs is because of the Spanish. So it's a blessing and a curse. I would say anyone who is of Aztec descent would say it's a complete curse, and they're absolutely not wrong. However, the only reason why we know anything, really a ton of information about it, is because of the Spanish. But if the Spanish never arrived, who knows, they would still probably be here, and they'd be able to tell us themselves. Okay? So here is the landmass, and then I'm just going to quickly color in the water, and then I am done with your map for week 11. There you go, guys. I am thinking of you while I'm out. However, I will see you on Tuesday. So I hope you enjoyed your map. Make sure you get it done. And on Monday, you'll have a primary source. All right, guys. Always a pleasure. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Get your work done. See ya.